Hi everyone, this week we had the Google assignments. I found that the Google assignments module was probably one of my favorites simply because Google is so user friendly. I think from the beginning of when I used Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Calendar, any of those things, I've always loved it. I really enjoyed it. When I was in high school, we used Google Classroom as our form of turning things in because we all had Chromebooks while we were in high school. Uh, I do think that the learning modules that we did were very beneficial. There's a lot about Google that just a normal person wouldn't know. Just because we use Google doesn't mean that we understand all of its features. And I think that it's awesome through going through these trainings. We've learned so much more about what Google is capable of doing and what we can do with Google. I think one of the coolest aspects of Google is probably going to be the translation feature for Gmail in any of the translation features, frankly. But specifically, one of the questions that we had on the module test was how to communicate with somebody who might have a different language than you. And I think it's very cool that we can use those translation features on Gmail in order to communicate with somebody who might be of a different language from us. Um, Along with that, I thought it was super cool that while we do have to have um, internet connection to use Google Docs and Google Slides and Google Calendar on our computers, we can also download Google onto our all of the Google applications onto our smartphones. This can be very helpful because sometimes it's very hard to get to our computers. Sometimes we're going to be somewhere without Wi-Fi and we'll rely solely on the service that's on our phone. So I think it's amazing that you can email back and forth with students or back and forth with parents or anything like that, like staff members as well, from your phone, and it's so user friendly and very easy to use. Um, Along with that, I thought some of the filtering tools were very, very awesome. You can use for email because you're able to filter what is in your inbox if you are overwhelmed with emails of all sorts. Um, Part two of the reflection, I'd like to speak a little bit about what it's like to work with those. Um, I, for example, when I used mine, I just created a Google Doc, and I shared it with my mom, and we sometimes talk back and forth on those. If she's helping me with a homework assignment, or I'm helping her with a homework assignment, she's in graduate school, so I'm able to communicate with her and help her with some things as well as editing for her. I think that's super awesome, and she'll do the same thing for me. So I think that that is my experience with um, the presentations and slides and all those aspects of Google. I do think that there's a huge advantage to those things because they're so easily shareable and they're all very, like I've said before, user friendly. The only disadvantage I see is that if you are on your laptop and do not have a internet connection, it can be kind of hard to get a hold of those documents if you don't have those mobile applications.